Right now, you are catching the replay, so do me a favor and put a hashtag replay right down below, right there in those comments. It's a little way, of course, to let me know who is tuning in so I can see you and I can comment and come on back and say a little hello. Super excited to have you here today, and I wanted to thank you so much for coming and checking out this Minute with Mary. My voice is a little crazy, and I'm sorry. I have a cold, and it is just that. It's no panorama. It is just a cold, but it's a cold that is kicking my butt. And if this is your first time around the block when it comes to Minute with Mary videos, I'm going to teach you something. Sometimes when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling a little ill, when I'm not feeling myself, one of the best things that I have found for me that works is putting on a little bit of makeup. You know, doing my hair, kind of that whole fake it till you make it thing, which doesn't always work, and it's not always necessarily the best thing for you. But in situations when it's like this, when it's a cold, sometimes it really does help. And I do have some meetings and appointments that I'm going to try to be getting to today. Hi, Amy, how are you? Put a little hashtag hello, lovely. So I am trying to psych myself, do that whole mind over matter, and be like, you're not sick, Mary, you're not sick. But if I do sound like a toad, and if I have to take in some water, now you know why. It's because of my kids. My kids have been sick, and they brought this little germs to me. Just so you know, I did prep my face. I did my skincare. I did put on some of my eye cream that's really going to help tighten and brighten underneath those eyes. I am now putting on some hydrating primer. So it's going to help fill in the pores and the fine lines, and it's also going to make it so that my makeup really sticks onto my face really, really well, which is important because I want it to stay on so I can rock and roll for those meetings that I was telling you about. All right, see, gotta need to drink a little water already. So while the primer sits on my face, I did want to go over a simple eyeshadow look. My eyeshadows are featured this month at minutewithmary.com. So if you're in the market to try some new colors out, or you need to refill some of your favorites, or if you want to try something new and you don't necessarily know what's going to make your eyes pop, I highly recommend that you tap the hashtag Minute with Mary right here in this video, and then you can request to join my VIP group. I'm going to be sharing lots of tips and tricks and tutorials in there, of course, and letting you know about any of the deals that I have going on with these eyeshadows for the month of February. I want you to love on yourself. Hi, Rose. How are you? Drop a little hashtag hello, lovely. Let me know how you're doing, my friend. So when it comes to eyeshadows, one of the big culprits of eyeshadows not necessarily being the way that you want them to be is not having a good base on your lids. Some people have more of an oily composition when it comes to their eyes. Other people have a lot of hoods to their eyes, meaning this is a little droopy. And what ends up happening is your eyeshadows don't stay on your eyelids that well. So if you do have that problem, I highly recommend that you check out my eye primer. Just a super duper little bit, light just like that. It makes a world of difference. As I want my mirror a little bit closer to plop on here. So tell me how everybody's doing. Let me know what has been going on in your neck of the woods. As I said, the poor Larson household has not been faring well this past week or two, just with this nasty little cold. So we've been trudging along and doing what we need to do, but it's funny when anyone who's a mom, you get this. When you are trying to take care of everybody else and make sure everybody's okay, sometimes the little germies know to stay away. They're like, oh, mom's serious. We can't get mom sick right now. But then when people start to get better, that it's my time to shine, man. So here's where I am right now. And it sometimes takes me a little longer than I'd like to recover from these things, just because I think I push it while I take care of the kids. So we're talking about having that nice eyeshadow base. So the eye primer is going to really help grab the colors, make sure that they are as pigmented as you want them to be. They're really going to be nice and true, but I will say sometimes for me, I like to have a little bit of a base that helps tone down any discoloration I have. So sometimes you're going to see me use concealer. Sometimes I might use my pressed powder foundation, something just as simple as your foundation will do it. And you can also get yourself a nude eyeshadow that kind of comes close to your eye color, your skin color around your eyes, I should say, to help just kind of neutralize any little veins or freckles or anything like that. Hey, Scott, how's it going? Hey, Ann. Rose says, I'm good. I have that. You have the cold too. Oh, no. Oh, no, Rose. I hope you feel better. So I'm just taking a fluffy brush just like this, tapping it out, And what I'm going to do is just lightly dust this product right on my eyelid. So once again, it's going to help with the discoloration. I've just got a lot of veins and freckles over time. It's part of my body's natural composition, but what this is also going to do is it's going to allow the other shadows to blend a little easier. Remember how I was saying how that eyeshadow primer has a really good grip to it? Has a really good grip to it. The grip can be great, but sometimes the grip makes the makeup stop in its place. So I like to do a light dusting so that way as I apply the other shadows, they can glide easier while still having that nice hold. All right, so I'm doing my eyeshadows before I do my face. This does allow my primer to really fit into my face. It also is great because if I were to make any mistakes or have any fallout come on down on my cheeks, it won't be making a mess of my foundation or concealer. So if you've never tried that, doing your eye makeup before you do your foundation, your concealer, I highly, highly recommend it. So I'm going to be only using 2 eyeshadows today. First is this beautiful matte pink shade called Hesitant. And then the second shade is kind of this like light burgundy kind of color called Agile. I thought that was going to be kind of close to the clothing that I'm wearing today. And once again, just trying to put a little bit of makeup on to make me feel better. So I'm going to start things off by putting down my main lid shade, and that's going to be that Hesitant shade. So you can do this technique with whatever colors you like. If you like more of matte browns, or if you like to go wild with some other colors, you can go for it. This is just a nice little technique, as I said. Hi Susan, how are you? Great to see you. Thanks for popping on. So I'm going to take just a fluffy crease brush. It's a little bit more densely packed than my blending brush. You can see right here. When bristles are more densely packed, it means you're going to get a little bit more color payout. It's picking up a bit more of the product. So I'm just going to tap it in there. Now, if you are looking to grab yourself some eyeshadows, I will say that this month I am doing a deal on a custom quad. And what that means, let's see if I have it right here. I thought I had my custom quad right here. You're going to get a 4-pack of eyeshadows that can, here it is. I'm hiding it on myself, silly Mary. It's a custom quad, so it just comes with 4 eyeshadows of your liking. Sadly, my green one broke. I dropped it chasing my cat, so I've had to reorder my green. Otherwise, I'd show you, but I played with this palette yesterday. But you get to pick which ones you'd like. They're magnetic, so you can kind of switch them in and out if you'd like. But that is the deal, and we can kind of pick which colors look best for your eyes. So going on in with this matte pink, as I said, and I'm just going to sweep it on that lower lid. Now, here's a cool thing. If you just want to wear one eyeshadow color, you can just use one shadow and really apply the color a bit more thickly on your lower lid, and then softly do a windshield wiper kind of motion just like this, and bring it up to your crease area and bring it up little by little and soften the pressure. And it's going to create this beautiful gradient ombre effect. Hi Amy, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. So I'm just going right on up with that beautiful matte pink shade. So some days I like to play with some bold shades, and other days I just like to play with nice little light neutrals. So just putting it inside the product, I tap it right here to prevent fallout on my face, and then swiping it on that lower lid, really making sure that I'm concentrating the color on that lower lid, and then bringing it up to the crease and bringing it up further. And as I go up further, I do it a little bit lighter of a pressure. And that's going to create that really nice ombre look. So if you are more of a makeup novice, or you only have a little bit of time, you really can try this technique with just how hard you're pressing with the brush, how much product you have in the brush to really create a look that makes it look like you have 2, 3, or more eyeshadows on your eyes. I love this technique, especially for people who, as I said, you really, you just need to get quick and out the door. So that is just the shade Hesitant. Now I'm going to go on with the shade Agile. So you could see it's a little bit deeper of a color, but it's still within that same color palette. And I'm going to use the same brush, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the outer corner of my eye just to add a little bit of depth and dimension. So same brush, tap it in, and then I'm going to work right here and kind of create this line. Like if I could draw an imaginary line from my nostril to the end of my eye, I'd be carrying that direction this way. Some people who want to make a really sharp line, they even add a little piece of tape, just like regular gift tape, the clear tape, and that will help you get a really nice line as well. Hi Eleanor, how are you? Another tip is that once again, by doing your eyeshadows before your foundation and concealer, you can just quickly clean it up when you do your concealer step. So I go in right there, and then I like to bring it into the crease area. And for me, with my saggy hooded eyelid, I have to not only take it into the crease area, but a little bit above. And now what I'm going to be doing is working more in circular motion. So as I blended that lighter shade, I did more of a windshield wiper rainbow shape. But since I want to keep this color a bit more saturated, I'm doing more little circles. That's still going to blend it, make sure that there's no harsh edges, but still keep the color saturated, which I really like. Hi Gloria, how you doing, my friend? So yeah, I'm hoping that I can rest and kick this cold's butt so that way it's not a long-lasting thing, because every once in a while I get a little cold and it lingers. So we are just hoping. And of course, nowadays with, you know, the way the world is right now, not only do I not want to be sick, but I'm also like embarrassed about being a little sick in front of people. You know, I don't want anyone worried like, oh no, Mary cleared her throat. Like, what is she doing? When I'm getting tested, I'm doing all the right things. It's just a cold. There we go. And that right there is the key difference between the panorama and what's going on with me. I have a phlegmy cough, and the panorama is a dry cough. Fun little facts that I find out from all of my searching. What's wrong with me? Dayquil, my friends. Dayquil is my friend. Thank you so much, Gloria, for that hashtag hello lovely. So once again, I'm just taking this color and I'm kind of using that imaginary line that if you took from your nostril up to your lower eyelid, and I'm using that. I'm going into my crease, and because I have a hooded eyelid, I am bringing it a little bit up. And I like to lay down the placement first and then dip back into the eyeshadow and deepen the color a little bit. So if you are someone who maybe you're not necessarily confident with this kind of a makeup technique, less is more, and you can always build it. Rather than going in really heavy-handed with a lot of dark color and not being able to get rid of it the way you want. Amy says, I hate sneezing in public. It feels like I have to announce to everyone, it's not the panorama. I know. That's how I'm feeling right now. Oh my gosh. But it is what it is, and that's why, you know, I am trying to hang low and rest as much as I can so that way I can try to get it out of my system sooner rather than later. Nobody has fun when you're sick, right? All right, so not only did I make, you know, that straight line, but I brought it over a little bit. You can almost think of it as a V or as a 7. And because I have that droopiness to my eyelid, I do kind of bring it up a little bit above where my crease is so you can actually see that color. And you can play with how far you want to bring it in, but because I'm just going for more of like a light look today, this is all I'm going to do. And that really adds that depth and dimension that I'm looking for this nice neutral eye. So just using those two colors, once again, I had the matte pink hesitant on the main part of my lid. I took that more mauvey purpley shade, Agile, in the outer corner, and it just added a really nice pop to my eyes. So now I'm going to quickly do my makeup, and then I'll finish things up with some mascara. Gloria says that you're good. I hope you feel better. Thank you so much. Gloria says, I have that issue with allergies. People look at you weird. I know. It's like I'm still human, and humans still get sick every once in a while. You know, I promise I wash my hands. But, you know, especially living with kids, they bring in all sorts of things. So you just gotta roll with the punches. So I'm just shaking on my Serum Plus foundation. Once again, I put my primer on my face before I did my eye makeup. Really easy. You can just take this and you can either dot it with your hand. I like to dot it with my brush, but you can see I put it on the back of my palm. And I like to put the majority of the product in the center of my face, and then I go right where my age spots are, and then I blend. When it comes to foundation, you don't need to have like a full, thick amount of it, particularly if you've got a lot of redness and discoloration in the center of your face. Apply the product there and then just blend it out. You're going to feel a lot better about yourself. You won't be feeling all that, you know, thickness of makeup. You won't be looking like you have a makeup mask on or anything. So I'm just going to take this brush and clean up that edge. See how easy that is? I might not even wear concealer today. I'm going to be real with you. Just going to do this nice and quickly, but to also show you that you don't have to do concealer. If you're doing more of a medium coverage foundation and it's working with your under eyes, I say go for it. So I'm just going to clean up that line once again. Another great reason why putting on your foundation after your eyeshadows is a good thing. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so Blake and I have a lot of podcasting to catch up on, and it's just been a comedy of like who's sick or what's going wrong every single night. So we are pivoting, we are adjusting, but last night it was me. So I'm just trying my best to feel normal again, so that I can be podcasting. This is actually one of the reasons why I wanted to go live, because since I work from home, I don't really talk a lot. You know, I'm not teaching a class anymore, and I'm not necessarily like talking to coworkers. So I can go a long time resting my voice, which is great, but I also don't know how often I'm going to be coughing with this cold. So I figured, you know what? I need to do my makeup. It's going to make me feel better. And I might as well see how much I can talk without coughing and see if it's possible. And it is. It is. So that is the scoop. Hi, Rachel. How are you? All right. So as I said, I'm not even going to be using concealer, doing more of a minimalist approach when it comes to that, because really my eyes are just fine. I used my eye cream. I can just put my foundation on, and I really, really like the coverage that it's giving me right now. But I am going to just lightly dust it with some pressed powder to set it, because with the shine, it does highlight the physical bag. So if you don't like the physical bag aspect of your under eyes, use a little setting powder or even a little bit of my pressed powder, and you can just lightly kind of tap that on with either a blending bud or a very gentle brush. Don't cake it on, don't bake it. A lot of young people do this thing called baking, and that can actually dry it out, but you're just trying to diminish the shine. And when you diminish the shine, that reflectiveness won't show, and the physical under eye bags really kind of go down. Rachel says, looking gorgeous for having a cold. Oh, Rachel, you are way too kind, my friend. This is called fake it till you make it, my friend. Trying to become one with the living, because I am not feeling normal. So I'm just taking that, and it's setting my makeup, but it's also kind of diminishing a little bit of the shine. And I like to do that because I am going to go in with a little bit of bronzer, because when I do more medium to fuller coverage foundation, it does get rid of the dimension of my face, so I just like to put a little bit back. You can see it's nothing dark, it's just a couple shades darker than my skin, and this will add a little bit of that dimension. Make me look like I'm not two-dimensional anymore. Ay, ay, ay. So yeah, the kids are doing well, and we've got some appointments, and you know what's crazy is we're already starting to plan for spring sports, and my mind just doesn't work that way. Does anybody else have a difficult time? I mean, we just started February, and there's sign-ups now for, you know, spring activities and spring sports, and towards the end of this month even, you have to start signing your kids up if they want to do camps and like summertime camps. So it always throws me off guard, and we've been pretty fortunate that I haven't really done too many activities with the kids. The kids are either too young, or then the panorama started and we didn't really want to be doing too awfully much with the kids. So this is kind of their first spring season where we might be doing something with both of them. Rachel says, have you ever tried Vietnamese pho? I always say it's a magical healing powers. It clears up a cold so fast. I have. But you know what? I haven't had it since we moved to more of the suburb part of the city. So maybe I'm going to need to do that, Rachel. I'm going to have to grab some. That's a really good call. Thank you. Because that's probably just what I need. Just what the doctor, aka my friend Rachel, ordered, right? So yeah, so we're hoping to figure out what the kids want to do. Our little lad might want to play some more soccer. That's his big sport. And then our little lass wants to do soccer and track. But I think we're only going to do one sport per season for her. So we're going to have her decide if she wants to do track or if she wants to do soccer. So I'm hoping she wants to try track because I really think she'd excel at it. Taking just a little bit of blush. This is my favorite shade if people are looking for a natural flush blush, like the color that you would turn if you went outside or if you got a little embarrassed. This shade is my favorite at minutewithmary.com. It's called Sisterly, and it has a little bit of a luminosity to it. You can kind of see that pick up in the light. So I just find it adds a youthful glow without looking, you know, like you're trying to be a little teeny bopper, but it is just a very, very natural shade. Rachel says, I'm hoping to row doodles in something this year. A cheer, dance, karate, not sure yet. Yes, so we've done dance with both my kiddos, and they enjoyed it, but not a ton. So we're not forcing it. I do think that our little lass would love dance if she tried it again, but on the flip side, her philosophy is, I want to do my own dance. I don't want to have to learn their steps. And I'm like, okay, all right, you do you. I'm not paying a lot of money for you to, like, you know, not do what you're learning for an hour. So, and then I've thought about cheer for her, but she hasn't really seemed that interested in it. So it's just, you know, I think they just need to be exposed and they need to see what their friends are doing, and it's hard sometimes to explain it. So, but she does know that she wants to do track. So I figure we'll do track this spring and we'll see how it goes. But it's a really cool program. They not only, you know, teach the kids how to run, but they show them all of the other aspects of outdoor track. So the kids will do like kid version hurdles, and they'll have like kid version javelin throws, and they just kind of get to see the whole experience of what it means to be in track. And I didn't do track. I wish I had, partially, just because I think that it's a really neat skill set, and maybe it would have helped me actually like running, because I do not like running. It is not my happy place. I'm going to take that brush that I was using for both of my shadows, and whatever is left on it, I'm actually going to smudge underneath my lower lash line. This is a great tip if you like the look of, you know, just kind of pulling your whole eyeshadow look together, but you don't want to use a pencil or liquid eyeliner down there just because you think it might make your eyes look a little smaller. So this really helps complete it. It makes your eyes look bigger just with whatever is left. And if you're doing a bolder look, you know, you may want to dip back into the shadow and pick up a little bit more product. But for me, when I'm doing this more daytime kind of natural look, whatever is left over is just fine for me. It works perfectly. Hi, Anne, how are you? I'm feeling slightly better. I'm doing the fake it till you make it kind of thing right now, where I figure if I put on a shirt and do my makeup, I can convince myself that I'm feeling better. So we will see, because I have some mandatory stuff that I have to do later. So I had to look like one of the living. I did not look like a living person. I looked like a zombie this morning when I dropped the kids off, and sadly we were a little late, and so I had to, you know, walk my kids into the school. And normally if I drop my kids off late and I have to walk my kids into the school, I can just kind of like sneak in just a little bit. I'm trying to find a proper pencil that I want to use. I could sneak in, do what I need to do. I'm just taking a black pencil and I'm going to do what's called tight lines, just getting right in the base of those lashes. And I could just like wave to the secretary and we're good to go. Not today. Today the vice principal had to ask me a question about something. Everything's fine, but he had to ask me a question, so I had to be brought into his office, and I'm literally sitting there in like hiking boots, my leggings, my unbrushed hair with my winter hat on. I mean, I was all sorts of not good morning. So I just felt really bad. And here I am like sounding gross. So I assume that that's how many people look when they're bringing their kids to school, particularly if they're bringing their kids to school late. But it is what it is. I will say that I am really, really happy that I had shoes on and that I had a brassiere on, because they're trying to think if it was a couple years ago, you know, just like the pickup from school or whatever, pickup from the bus stop or just a quick errand, I would think, whatever, if I'm wearing a sweatshirt and a jacket, like nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know if like the girls are free. And I told this to somebody and they were like, don't ever go without your brassiere on. I don't know why I'm saying bronzier, like making it sound classy, that I used to drive sometimes without a bra on. But she said, God forbid you get into an accident or something happens and you have to like get out of the car, you know? So from then on, I made the choice, okay, even if I'm a tired mom, like, you know, taking out my toddlers and doing all this stuff, I need to take the time to do it. So today I was thankful that I learned that lesson years ago, that even when I'm in a crazed situation with the kids, to take the time to at least look somewhat presentable as we do it. Rose says, great eye technique, thank you. Awesome. Amy says, walk of shame. Anne says, I saw a hack for that under eyeshadow look, which I do most days to prevent fallout. Add a little eye primer right under your lower lashes, and then when you line the shadow, it really sticks. That's an awesome tip, Anne. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. I'm going to have to try that next time. Yeah, I don't have necessarily, what's tough for me, so the shadows don't run for me, but sometimes mascara runs for me down here. And once again, we all just have like different body compositions with like how oily or not oily our skin is there. So if I'm wearing mascara down here, it has to be waterproof. I can do my 4D or any kind of other mascara up here, but if I'm doing it down here, for me, it has to be waterproof. So once again, I don't know, like, do I rub my eyes too much or is it oily for my eyes? But for shadows, for me, I'm in pretty good shape. All right. That being said, I'm going to take a little bit of mascara. I might even do waterproof right now. So this is my lash primer. But yeah, so I'm really, really thankful that I didn't have too bad of a walk of shame, as Amy said, to go talk to the vice principal, because yeah, that would have been, Mary, can you come in here? No, I cannot. Why? You don't know, sir, but I just can't today. That would have been great. So I'm digging my 4D. I'm not doing anything too dramatic today, as I said, really trying to keep this a nice neutral matte eyeshadow look, but just to teach you how using that same brush, that fluffy crease brush, can really help you, I don't know, make your eyes stand out a little bit more. Dun, 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 dun. Nope, now my throat is hurting. So I reached my limit of talking. This was a good practice. Can I talk? I can. Not for long. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've been able to fall asleep. I've been taking NyQuil, but then I wake up around 1, and then I take some more NyQuil, and I can't sleep well after that, so I'm figuring out what to do. I do need to buy another humidifier. Normally we're fine if like one person needs the humidifier, but since 2 of us are feeling this little cruddy cold, I've been letting the kiddo use it and sacrificing myself, but I definitely need the humidifier because I can't talk. I need to talk. Rachel says, at least you weren't in a Lorelai Gilmore taking Rory to children. Yes, yes, yes. And like, how do we even call that? Like Daisy Dukes or something. That was an awesome scene. All right, I am just going to put a little bit of lip gloss on right now. My lip glosses are part of the February special. So just to wrap up, the February special this month is you get a quad of 4 different eyeshadows that you get to choose, or I can help you choose. It can be, you know, neutrals, it can be bolds, all sorts of things. Comes in this cute little compact. And then you also get your choice of a lip gloss. So I'm just going to stick with that kind of purpley theme, and this is the shade Lighthearted. It looks a lot bolder than what it goes on like. So don't worry if you look at that and you say, oh my God, no way. It all comes down to how thickly you apply lip glosses. Lipsticks, I will say often, you know, just come out that strong of a color, but with a lip gloss, it really just comes down to the thickness or thinness that you apply. So I chose not to line my lips. If I wanted them to stand out a little bit more, I could. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Thank you so much for popping on. I'm also not doing my eyebrows right now. Just brushed them and combed them through. But that's because I am doing a very basic eyeshadow look. If I was doing it more dramatic, I would make sure that I was adding a little bit more oomph. But for me, this works, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching that 2-step eyeshadow look. I'm going to spray my face with some setting spray, make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And thanks for keeping me company and helping me practice talking to see if I'm in able condition to podcast, since that's the whole point of podcasting, is talking. So I'm in better shape than I was yesterday, so I'm gonna rest my voice for the rest of the afternoon and see how it goes from there. So thank you all so much. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk with you later. Bye.